Craziest courtroom moments of all time. Let's get into it.
Saying pull the trigger, the killer's done. Now memory.
Wait, hold on.
Saying pull the trigger, the killer's done. Now memory.
What the?
You just gave me 40 years.
Yo.
Sir. Yes. You just gave me 40 years. Well, guess what? So
I'm not gonna lie, if I got 40 years, I'll be mad at shit too. But he probably definitely deserved it though. That's for sure. Tomorrow's teachings? Nah, we'll watch tomorrow's teachings tomorrow. Because we watched a video already yesterday. So it's like, why would I? Plus, like, that video traumatized me, chat. I need a little break from tomorrow's teachings, bro. G shit. All right.
This is Jalil Smith Riley, who is facing charges for murder in Michigan. Smith Riley was involved in an armed robbery on November 16, 2013, in Norwood, where he and two other men approached a parked car. Inside the parked car was 20-year-old Portia Brooks and her boyfriend, Aaron Martin. Smith Riley knocked on the window with a handgun and forced Martin, who was in the passenger seat, out of the car. Jalil then proceeded to go through Aaron's pockets and demanded his cash. Once Jalil had taken every dollar Aaron had, he then took his life with a shot to the head, causing permanent brain damage.
Why?
However, Jalil wasn't done there. Right after shooting Aaron, he then leaned into the car and fired at Brooks, who was sitting in the car, twice. And she died 3 days later. Fortunately...
Wait, did she... Bro, she a warrior. She a champion. She a fighter, though. She's so, like... Damn.
Martin survived the shooting.
2 shots.
Sustained serious injury.
She didn't survive, but damn.
Before the judge announced the sentence that Jalil would be facing, Portia's family got the chance to address the jury and the man who took their daughter away from them. Sharon Brooks, Portia's mother, brought the box containing her daughter's ashes to the courtroom, as she had for previous court dates. She stated that Smith Riley had ruined her life and killed her identity as a mother of 3.
This is what I have.
I'm not gonna lie, that editing was ass.
His greed, his selfishness.
Why you play, bro? Focus on the case, man. Like,
his
damn.
complete disregard of and disrespect.
I'm talking about the fake gunshots looking
life.
terrible.
But as you can see, I get nothing back except the reality that she is gone.
Tia Marie Brooks, Portia's sister, also spoke emotionally and requested that Smith Riley be handed the maximum sentence.
I have to deal with life without Portia, so he should deal with life without parole.
Then, Aaron, who Jalil shot in the head, spoke to the court.
She's still here with us, and she will always be here. So she's our angel looking over us, helping us get through these hard times.
As if Smith Riley's crime was not outrageous enough, his reaction to his sentence was even more dramatic. During the trial on August 11th, 2021, Smith Riley pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and attempted murder. However, he later decided to withdraw his guilty plea.
Bro, why you cry? Like, what type of remorse? I don't get it, man. You do the crime. Now don't get mad when you have to do the time, bro.
It's the advice of his attorneys.
From the beginning, this was an emotional day for the families of both of these victims, but when Smith Riley decided to reverse his plea halfway through the sentencing hearing,
is that nigga full? He can't be crying. I'm saying.
Were too, in part because it puts the death penalty back on the table.
Prior to receiving his sentence, Jalil was heard apologizing in court as what appeared to be a last attempt at showing remorse.
Not gonna lie, I'd hate to be on like the jury. You know when they call you in to decide like if somebody has the death penalty, cause like I don't want to have that like on my conscience, bro. Cause like my vote will like, you know what I'm saying, on whether a person dies, lives or dies. I don't want to have that pressure on me. That's just me though. You know what I'm saying?
This is what I'm coming with.
Additionally, Jalil's attorney made a final attempt at saving face.
And he knows it. He can't go back in time and undo what he did.
Despite the tears and the apologies, Judge Charles Kubicki, presiding over the case in Hamilton County Common Pleas Court, denied Smith Riley's request and sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Okay.
The 23-year-old monster that is currently rotting behind bars collapsed to the floor of the courtroom upon...
Bro,
3-year-old
that
monster
he
that is
lost
currently
all
rotting
consciousness,
behind
bro.
bars.
Brody was not there. Bro was seeing stars. Straight, yeah. Good for you. Good for you.
Collapsed to the floor of the courtroom
Much
upon
deserved.
receiving his sentence. Smith Riley also received an additional sentence of 11 years for a related attempted murder charge. However bad you think Smith Riley's case was, it can't be compared to the infamous
Oh,
case
this is the intro
of
guy.
TJ
Hey,
Lane.
hell
This
nah.
is
This
TJ
guy just
Lane,
look like a serial killer, man. He just looked like a psychopath.
who's facing charges for multiple murders in Ohio. TJ Lane was a convicted American murderer who gained notoriety after committing a horrific crime at Chardon High School in Ohio. On February 27, 2012, the Ohio Police Department responded to multiple calls from teachers and students that there was an active shooter in the building.
High school, we had shots fired, gunshots, multiple gunshots.
Oh, this is like, it's so sick, bro.
According to police reports, Lane entered the school and headed to the cafeteria. It was here that TJ Lane opened fire and killed 3 students and severely injured 3 others. 6 people got physically harmed at the hands of TJ Lane that day, but hundreds, if not thousands of people left Chardon High School on February 27, 2012, with intangible pain that will last through eternity.
Glances of your friends laying all over the place, there's blood, there's people screaming, everybody's running in different directions, and you're just trying to get out.
I saw a kid holding a gun pointed towards a group of kids.
Do you remember the look on the gunman's face?
I never looked at his face, I just looked at the gun. I still can't think about it all because it's just so scary.
Lane's actions sent shockwaves through the community. He was swiftly apprehended and charged with 3 counts of aggravated murder, 2 counts of attempted aggravated murder, and 1 count of felonious assault. As if the murders were not bad enough.
Look at him. He has that little smirk, and that shit is pissing me off, bro.
Lane showed no remorse for his actions at the trial and refused to cooperate with his attorneys. Instead, he appeared in court wearing a t-shirt with the word killer written on it.
Oh, I didn't even peep that. Yo, I
I
didn't even peep that. This nigga is, oh my. Yo, okay. There's something wrong with this dude, obviously.
His families. During the sentencing hearing, Lane made a shocking statement.
Insane to pull the trigger.
Nah, bro's not insane. I don't call bro crazy and say nothing, because that's what the lawyers use to put you into a mental asylum. No, bruh, he's just evil. Send that nigga to jail for life. You know what I'm saying?
No, masturbates to memory.
The statement caused outrage and disgust, not only among the families of the victims, but also across the entire nation. The judge presiding over the case,
Can you say
Judge
hello,
David
Dino?
Fury,
What's good,
described
Dino?
Lane's behavior as heinous, unprovoked, and senseless, and sentenced him to 3 life sentences in prison without parole. Lane didn't even bat an eyelid when he heard his sentence. He remained emotionless and unremorseful. Lane's behavior and reactions were likened to that of a psychopath. However, not every convict remained emotionless after hearing their sentence, like in the case of Ryan Stone. This is Ryan Stone, who is facing charges for going on a crime splurge throughout the nation, including kidnapping and assault, all of which was captured and broadcasted live by helicopters. The chase began after Stone hijacked a car with a 4-year-old boy inside and drove off, leading police on a dangerous pursuit that lasted more than an hour. During the chase, Stone drove up to 100 miles per hour and was reckless in every regard of the word.
Yo, this is not
He's
GTA,
here overtaking an innocent civilian on the highway, throwing them out of the car before carrying on in the new
Nah,
vehicle.
Brody think this GTA
That's not
for
all.
real.
Watch here as he exits the highway, opens the car door at full speed, then slams onto the brakes right before crashing into another car parked at an intersection. Investigators believe this was a sorry attempt at another carjacking. Stone also crashed into several other vehicles during this chase, causing numerous injuries. At one point, he even came inches from taking out a policeman who was trying to place stop sticks on the highway.
Oh.
He eventually crashed the stolen car and attempted to flee on foot.
So this is for real, a real life video game, man. If you're gonna commit GTA, at least be a good driver.
However, he was quickly apprehended by police and placed in a holding cell. As if Stone's actions weren't bad enough, he was caught on tape boasting about his actions to a friend who visited him in the cell.
Hey, did you know I made the news in the UK and Australia?
Bro's happy now that he's famous. That is so crazy.
What? Yeah. My lawyer told me I made the news in the UK and Australia. If you type in Grand Theft Auto on YouTube,
that's what I was saying. I'm not gonna lie. This was real life GTA, bro. I'm not even like that. That's what it gave me.
Ryan also
I think bro was trying to replicate it. I think he's definitely been playing the game too much.
Channels are using his car chase
Crazy.
Footage.
I'm gonna contact Channel 7 News or have you contact
Bro cares that he made the news while he's in jail. I know, like, stupid.
You guys are getting paid using my name.
Stone was charged with 26 crimes involving kidnapping, motor vehicle theft, assault, and eluding police. Stone's sentencing hearing was emotional. In court, many of his victims and their families can be heard speaking about the impact of his crimes on their lives. Some spoke of physical injuries they had sustained in the crash, while others described the emotional trauma they had experienced due to the incident. Stone spoke at the hearing. He cried, expressed remorse for his actions,
I should play RP
to his victims.
Just because you saw that clip.
The same week, Ryan was captured in the video on the left, laughing and boasting about his crimes. And on the other video on the right, he's seen crying and begging for sympathy.
Look at this fake actor, man. Yo, paid actor, bro. Look. The two different, you know what I'm saying? Bro thought he was slick, man. Over here, he was yapping about, oh, look, I'm on the news. And then here he's like, oh, I'm sorry for my actions.
As he finally realized the severity of his actions. Despite his apology, the judge in the case was unmoved, noting that Stone had shown a pattern of criminal behavior and that he posed a threat to society. The judge handed down the maximum sentence possible. Stone pleaded guilty to all charges and was sentenced to 160 years in prison without the possibility of parole. Stone was in tears when he learned he'd spend the rest of his life in prison. Stone blamed his actions on drugs, and his show of remorse might be sincere. However, some convicts are rather shocked by their sentences, like in the case of Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari. This is Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari, who are facing charges for first-degree murder in Michigan.
Okay, now, if you, bro, what could be so shocking about your sentence? If you kill somebody in GTA, obviously, you gonna expect the worst of the worst, right?
Seth and Tatiana were the parents of 10-month-old Adrien Welch,
that's just me though,
who police said died of malnutrition.
These guys are dumb as hell, bro.
Neglect on August 2nd, 2018, in Solon Township, Kent County, Michigan.
Tatiana is a name is wild. Why is it wild, bro?
2014,
I have a friend named Tatiana.
THC was found in the system of their firstborn child. Mary weighed only 8 pounds at the time of her death. Her parents refused to seek medical help, citing religious reasons and distrust of the medical system. The family home was found to be unhygienic during the initial investigation, with evidence of vermin, insects, and mold. The doctor who performed the autopsy confirmed that Mary was suffering from chronic malnutrition caused by withholding food and water. Seth's call to 911 revealed their level of neglect for their daughter.
And he said, when you found her, she was already believed to be deceased, right? Yes. And that's when you consulted with a lawyer?
I bet I'll check it out after, bro.
Do you believe she was beyond help already? Oh, yeah. She was dead as a door now.
When in court, the prosecutors made sure to highlight just how neglectful the parents were of their 10-month-old child.
That's crazy. You know, some people just shouldn't have children. Period.
And don't tell me you didn't intend that because you didn't get her little tush out of that crib. You left her in there. You ignored her because she was an inconvenience.
The couple was initially charged with felony homicide murder in August 2018. In June 2020, Seth Welch was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. In 2021, Fusari testified that her husband was abusive and that she was not allowed to take Mary to the doctor.
He got very angry with me.
Bro, this is just so disheartening, bro. I'm like, damn.
He told me that he knows how he said, you know what the I think about doctors. I told you Mary is fine. She's fine, now drop it.
In November 2021,
does she have a mustache? Yeah.
Fusari was sentenced to life without parole for first-degree murder and an additional 15 to 30 years for first-degree child abuse. When the judge pronounced their life sentence, Seth's mouth dropped open in shock, and Fusari started crying. For many people, this couple got what they deserved. However, This wasn't the only time a convict got a sentence that felt like justice. There was the case of Esteban Carpio.
What the hell? What is that over his face? He has a whole mask. Why? Is he a cannibal?
This is Esteban Carpio, who is facing charges for murder in Rhode Island. Carpio is an American murderer who killed a detective at a Providence police station in 2005. Providence Police Detective Sergeant James L. Allen and another detective were questioning Carpio at the Providence Police headquarters for accosting an 85-year-old woman, Madeline Gata. According to police reports, the second detective left to the third-floor interview room to retrieve some water. It was here where things took a turn for the worst.
Carpio had asked for water, and the two detectives that were in there with him, one left to go get the water and locked the door behind him. And they tragically heard Detective Allen say, "I think he's going to kill me. He's got my gun. He's going to kill me." By the time they broke it down, the officer was dying, and Carpio had jumped out the window.
However, he was recaptured a few minutes later amid struggles with the police. But that was not the end of the drama. Due to the risky jump and struggles with the police, Carpio sustained injuries. When it came time for his sentencing, Carpio came to court wearing a mask designed to keep him from spitting at or biting others. His face was red,
you look nasty as hell.
When he appeared in court, his family members screamed and accused the police of brutality.
I mean, even if the police did brutally beat him up, I can't lie, kind of deserved
that they forced him to wear the mask to try and hide the brutal revenge
if you ask
they
me
gave Carpio behind closed doors. In fact, Carpio's aunt
look
went
like
on
Bane.
live TV to say this.
For real. Somehow like a Batman villain, for real. Yo, Trey, what's good, my boy?
We tried and tried, and he didn't deserve this.
However, Providence Police Chief Dean M. Esserman argued that Carpio's injuries were sustained when he jumped from the third-floor interview room and resisted arrest. The FBI later investigated the police.
They look like Jason? Yeah, he look like all those Halloween
No civil
villains.
rights violation when injuries are incident to arrest. Meaning, if he's fighting the police officers, the officers have the right to use whatever force necessary to subdue.
Yo, they
the
really
subject.
beat the... Look at his face. Like, they really did a number on him.
On June 27, 2006, a jury found Carpio guilty of the murder of Detective Allen and the stabbing of Madeline Gata. Despite his plea of insanity, Carpio was sentenced to life in prison without parole. At first, he showed little reaction to his sentence and remained unmoved. However, later, in an attempt to win over the jury, he was heard apologizing for his actions.
Every day, I face the facts of what I did and what happened.
Carpio claimed he was suffering from mental illness at the time of the crime, but the court didn't entertain the claims.
That's
However,
what they all
people you
pull.
think Carpio is,
Insanity
how does he
card.
compare to Kayla Mendoza?
What did she do? I'm sorry. She looks like she couldn't hurt a fly off first impressions, bro, but she probably did something really messed up.
Who tweeted this the same night she took two girls' lives in a deadly drunk driving crash. Who tweeted this the same night she took two girls' lives in a deadly drunk driving crash. This is Kayla Mendoza.
Drunk driving?
2 counts of DUI manslaughter. That's count 1 and
Bro, that's gotta be the worst shit ever, man.
Who is facing charges for
'Cause it's
double
just
manslaughter,
reckless, like,
among
damn.
other charges in Florida. The 20-year-old woman who was not licensed to drive was convicted of the murder of 2 women while drunk driving in Fort Lauderdale, Florida on November 17, 2013. Before the crash, Mendoza went to a local bar with her manager and colleagues from her job where she drank 2 fishbowl margaritas. A few hours later,
Whoa, 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 whoa. 2 bowls? Relax, honey. Damn, relax.
Mendoza got behind the wheel
You
of a
shoulda
Hyundai
known.
Sonata and drove the wrong way on the Sawgrass
You let her ass
Expressway.
drive.
Kayla hopped into her car and went speeding the wrong way down the freeway at more than 80 miles an hour. She collided head-on with another car, killing these 2 beautiful young women, Marissa Cotroneo and
R.I.P.,
Caitlin
man.
Ferrante,
Damn.
both just 21.
Crazy.
Mendoza was charged with 2 counts of DUI manslaughter while impaired, 2 counts of DUI manslaughter with an unlawful blood alcohol level,
All right, Collie.
2 counts of vehicular homicide,
Peace.
and 2 counts of driving without a license causing death. Mendoza's then-boyfriend owned the Hyundai Sonata involved in the crash and explained that the 2
Shit, now who let her drive? Who let her out the house? I'm saying.
drunk to care tweet was directed toward him.
The Too Drunk to Care tweet was for my boyfriend because he was upset I was out, hanging out with them and with Marcelo drinking because he wanted me to be home.
The Ferrante and Cotroneo families filed lawsuits against Mendoza, her boyfriend, the T-Mobile store where Mendoza was employed, and the Tijuana taxi company. On May 4th, 2015, 2 months after pleading guilty to 2 DUI manslaughter...
I'm watching you in the shower right now. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how to feel about that, man. Like, for one, it's like, on one hand, it's like, W mans. But on the other hand, it's like, hey, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the economy is kind of like, I'm confused.
Charges. Mendoza was sentenced to 24 years in
I don't know what to feel, bro. I don't want to feel right now.
prison. Mendoza was apologetic throughout the trial. When she heard her sentence, her apology and crying intensified.
No matter how much time passes, I'm gonna live with that.
Bro, spanking his
After
monkey
her
right now.
sentence,
Please don't
Mendoza
have that
will
image in
also
my head.
serve
Please,
6 years
please,
of
please, please.
probation
Don't put that shit
and
in
is
my head.
permanently banned from driving a motor vehicle.
No homo?
Mendoza's
Okay, it's
apologies
cool
and
then.
remorse show
Don't be
that she
mans.
may yet be saved. However, the same cannot be said for Adrien Dunn.
Bro had to tattoo his hairline. That is tough. That is real tough.
This is Adrien Dunn, who is facing charges for murder in San Antonio. Adrien, an ex-convict, was sentenced for the murder of Rakeem Tariq Charles. Police said that Adrien shot Charles in the back during a drug deal in a parking lot on July 16, 2012. To make matters worse, this wasn't even Dunn's first encounter with law enforcement.
To prison twice for possessing a firearm after this murder. He committed another shooting a month before this murder. And he's shown zero remorse.
Prosecutors urged the jury to impose the maximum
a
sentence,
stone cold killer.
noting that Adrien had an extensive criminal history and had shown no remorse for the murder. Prosecutor Jason Goss can be seen here.
Yo, don't start with this stay still bullshit, bro, because I will literally tweak out spaz and move. Like, what are you talking about?
The victim's
Don't do it.
parents.
That's weird,
Before
bro.
arguing to the jury that a life sentence was necessary to prevent another family from suffering, as Charles' family had.
Her son, who has to suffer, and this family who has to suffer because of the defendant. And that's why we're asking you for a life sentence.
If you thought the crimes were horrendous, wait till you see how Adrien reacted to his sentence. Throughout the trial, Adrien showed no remorse and couldn't have been less concerned. He was found guilty of the crime. Still, his attorney argued that a sentence of 35 to 40 years would be more appropriate. His reasoning?
Don't give Adrien a chance to go into prison and try to make something of himself so that when he gets out, if he ever gets out, he can try to be an asset to our community.
However, the jury deliberated for just 2 hours before returning with a sentence of life in prison. As the jury's decision was read out, Adrien began to fight with Bexar County Sheriff's deputies, attempting to escort him from the courtroom. Dunn's behavior was marked by profanity and outbursts. He was eventually subdued and removed from the court.
He needs 6
Adrien's
cops on
case
him?
can be termed a drug case gone bad. However, while he remains stoic and combative, there are other convicts who break down in court and feel genuine remorse for their actions.
I'm not gonna lie, he took that like a
Ellis
champ.
Nelson
Not like he is a champ, but he took that like a champ. I ain't gonna lie, bro. He did better than I.
Ortiz Nieves. This is Ellis Nelson Ortiz Nieves.
He took that like a. I can already tell.
Man, I ain't gonna let you sit here and say that.
What you gonna do, bro? What you gonna do? Take your punishment, little boy.
He was facing charges for the murder of an infant in Michigan. The cause of death was physical abuse, which was later ruled as murder. The 4-year-old boy, Giovanni Mejias, was the son of Ortiz Nieves' girlfriend, Sonia Hernandez. Sonia claimed she had no involvement in the crime. However, her neighbor had a different side of the story.
Sonia was well aware. She was well aware of what was happening because she told him that was his responsibility to whoop them.
Ortiz Nieves denied abusing the
Oh,
boy,
so she's a
but
part
the
of it
judge
too.
and prosecutors believe his beating the child resulted in his death. Kent County deputies reported that when they arrived at the Gaines Township trailer, where Ortiz Nieves was left to care for several children under 11, It was here that they found Giovanni left on the kitchen floor. An autopsy showed that Giovanni died from internal bleeding caused by an abdominal tear, which would have been caused by an adult, not a child. During the trial, Kent County Circuit Court Judge Mark Trusock can be heard condemning Ortiz Nieves' actions, reprimanding him in very strong words, and insisting that he should never be allowed out of prison.
You are the lowest form of human life that I've been able to observe or see.
Grill him.
That you committed this murder and that you beat this little boy to death.
That is so crazy.
The judge described the injuries suffered by Giovanni before his death, causing Ortiz Nieves to become upset and struggle with deputies, who had to remove him from the courtroom.
You had put cigarettes out on this poor little child. There was evidence of that from the pictures. Anybody says
Yeah, put him in the deepest, darkest hole you can find. Thank you. Appreciate it. Get that man gone. I'm done with this video. Realistically, bro, I can't take that video no more.